Well, Leah, something I love about today's show is we're going to be talking a lot about community.
Yes.
A lot of visitors from the community, some community events you can get involved in, but we also want to, of course, keep the community safe and healthy.
Of course we do.
Yes, and that is something we're not experts in, but someone who I guess you could call an unfortunate expert in life-saving measures is our new friend. We have Mark Kleinschmidt on the CoastLife couch. Mark, first, thank you for being here.
Absolutely.
Happy to have you. But you are a survivor of a very unfortunate and scary cardiac episode, I guess you could call it. You had cardiac arrest.
Correct.
Can you just go into first your story, what happened to you, whatever you're comfortable sharing, and then we're going to kind of go into it with the viewers on how they can save someone's life.
Sure. It was August 2017. I'm a runner, and I had just come back in the morning from a nice 5-mile run, so I was pretty sweaty.
Yeah.
Healthy guy, and probably not the least likely person you think would have a cardiac episode. I suffered a sudden cardiac arrest, and I went down, and the only thing I knew to do was to literally crawl to the door where my daughter's bedroom, and knock on the door. And as fate would have it, she was home. She lives in Philadelphia, but happened to come home to pick up some stuff. But fate continued to help, or the hand of God, if you will. She's a nurse.
Wow.
And I'm laying there, knocked on the door, and Allie, I think I'm having a heart attack. And she says, Dad, you're kidding, stop it. It's 7:30 in the morning. And then she realized what it was, and she went into, as she says, nurse mode. She got me aspirin, got me on the ground, called 911, and proceeded to do CPR for 20 minutes until the paramedics got there.
She did CPR on you.
Yeah. CPR on her father on the bedroom floor.
That is terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
and
imagine not being able to help your father in that situation. That's more terrible.
And that's, again, where I was so fortunate that she knew CPR and was able to do that and save my life. And it was clear to the doctors and the paramedics, if she hadn't been there and administered CPR, I'm dead.
Wow.
And that's why I've become such a advocate and a fan, if you will, of CPR, and it's not hard to learn. And if people understand this and take the time to be CPR trained, they can save lives. The stats are crazy. There's 330,000 out-of-hospital cardiac arrests a year, and the survival rate's about 10%.
Oh my goodness.
That is not good.
No.
Yeah, so I'm a 10%er, and I'm darn glad of it.
Yeah,
Well, we are extra happy to have you here today.
Yes, definitely. So I want to talk too. I mean, you just came back from a 5-mile run. You don't think someone who's a runner, got up before 7 a.m. to run, is going to go into cardiac arrest. So what were those signs for you that you were like, oh no, something is wrong?
Well, I think it's kind of a little confusing because it's kind of profuse sweating. Well, I'm like, of course I'm sweating.
You just ran 5 miles.
But when you stop and you don't stop sweating is part of it. And then there's tingling. And then the biggest sign is that feeling of a snake wrapping around you and constricting your breathing, that you know it. But the thing is, it's just, in some cases, cardiac arrest can happen if you don't know it. It's blockages in your heart arteries, and there's so many arteries in the heart that has to be checked. So it's important to have heart health and to get checked out, and more so with EKGs, they can identify that. But sometimes it's hard to get an image of where there's blockage, but you got to really stay on top of it. So heart health is important, and clearly getting CPR training, particularly bystanders, because you never know.
You never
it's
know.
so true.
Yeah.
So true.
So let's talk a little bit more about your advocacy. So you had this truly life-altering, life-changing experience. Thankfully, you came out on top of it. So what are you doing now to really spread that word?
Well, I get the opportunity. I've had speaking occasions at a couple places to talk about it, a couple with the Heart Association, and kind of share the story. But part of it is, I think there's a message to this, is how fortunate I was. And the thing I learned is that it isn't just about me. I impacted so many other people when I had the heart incident. And plus I had complications. I was in the hospital for 30 days.
Oh my gosh.
So it wasn't a great time. But one thing that happened that was really amazing, that sticks with me, is that so many people came to visit, and at one point my daughter took a film of everybody in the waiting room, and it was sort of like if you could ever vision seeing your funeral. This is what it was. It was guys I played Little League with, guys I work with, guys I've been involved with in politics, had no business meeting each other, but there they were. And it hit me, and my wife and my family, how much I am, and my co-workers in the community, that I had on them. And so if you have the opportunity to learn CPR, you can help not only that person, but everyone he or she is attached to. So that's why I'm passionate about it and love the opportunity to come and chat with you guys about it. So down here at the coast, get CPR certified and support the Heart Association for sure.
Yeah, and there's a way that people can do that coming up. The American Heart Association Heart Walk. It happens in Southern Delaware. I believe it's in Rehoboth Beach. So are you encouraging people to go?
Got to go to the Heart Walk. You know, you have an opportunity there to learn CPR. Also, there's that, which is a great thing. But also, you get some education about it because it's not as complicated as you think. CPR today is so advanced. The training is simple. It's not the mouth-to-mouth thing that we all used to probably think that it is. And as bystander CPR, you can save a life, and all the people that you can affect positively is real important.
That's great advice. Yeah, so I think maybe one of the easier ways, especially if you're one of our viewers in Southern Delaware, go to that Heart Walk that's coming up. We'll keep telling you more about it because Coast TV is excited to be involved with that. But learn CPR could save a family member's life, someone else's family member's life, someone just like Mark, who Mark, we're just, like Leah said, we're extra excited you're here today.
And I'm extra happy to be here.
Yes, I'm sure you are. Great. Well, thank you for spreading this very, very important message. I think something as simple as you coming on today is going to save a few lives.
I hope it does.
Definitely. All right. Well, we will be just back in a minute with you guys. Coming up, though, we have another way, like I said, to get involved with the community. Community Day, people. So stick with us.